Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well on this Sunday evening or whenever you're watching. We're going to bring you Clash of Leagues 1960 North American Football Championship Tournament, pitting the NFL, the National Football League, the CFL, the Canadian Football League, and the AFL, the American Football League. Clash as the 16 best from the combined leagues will do battle in the Clash of Leagues to determine who will be the 1960 King of the North. We will play all the games. We're playing quick play football. It's a couple of rolls. I believe it's Mike. This is a Mike Seelock game, and you can get this on Field of Dreams on that wonderful retro replay site. In the chat we have Philip Reynolds, Thrice Aroni, and the original Grognard. Hope all is well, gentlemen. I'm still under the weather a bit, but I thought up this real crazy tournament in my slightly fever-induced state I am in, and we're going to play it. Hello, Max Cornelius. So here we go. Let's close this. And let's give you the groups for our North American Football Tournament Championship. In Group A, we have from the NFL the St. Louis Cardinals 6-5-1 taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who are 14-2. Now, with Canadian Football League teams, per the rules, if you're playing an NFL team for 1960, you add 1 point to the Canadian Football League team. So that's just a CFL adjustment. And rounding out Group A, the San Francisco 49ers, also out of the NFL, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers out of the AFL, the American Football League Conference. The 49ers were 7-5, the Chargers were 10-4. In Group B, let's go to Group B. We have the New York Titans, 7-7, taking on the NFL champions Philadelphia Eagles, who were 10-2. Then, to round off Group B, the Detroit Lions, who were 7-5, take on the Edmonton Eskimos, who were 10-6, with the Eskimos beating Lion. Move on to Group C. The Baltimore Colts out of the NFL take on the Houston Oilers. Out of the AFL, the Colts were 6-6. The Oilers were 10-4, runners-up in the American Football League. Or did they win it that year? I think they won the 1960 AFL championship. And then we have the New York Giants, who are 6-4-2 out of the NFL, taking on the Toronto Argonauts, 10-4. Rumor has it that Jason will be there. Jason and the Argonauts. We move on to Group D, our final group in our 1960 North American Football Championship Tournament. The Dallas Texans out of the American Football League, who won the championship in 1960, I believe, or they were runners-up. I can't remember. I think they won it in 61. Take on the NFL runner-up, Green Bay Packers. Packers were 8-4. The Texans were 8-6. And the final two teams in Group D, the Cleveland Browns, 8-3-1, led by the great Jim Brown, will take on the Canadian Football Leaguers, Ottawa Rough Riders. Will it be a rough ride for Ottawa? They were 9-5. All right, so here we go. Sweet 16 tournament. Our first round, winners advance to the Elite Eight. Bobby Cantilano is here to watch the game. Should be a lot of fun. All right, let's bring this up. All right, our first matchup, St. Louis Cardinals, again 6-5-1 NFL, taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 14-2. The red and white will be St. Louis. The yellow and white will be Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The first rolls are defensive rolls, and all that means is, so see, this is a 15. I have not rolled yet. This is a 15. So we would go to the Cardinal card and look under defense, the left-hand side of the card. So 15, and it's 14. So that means the Winnipeg Blue Bombers would have scored 14 points. We put it over here. Okay. And then we look at Winnipeg's defensive role, as the first roles are defense. 46. And a 46, wow, only 3 points. So the Cardinals would be in the hole. All right, and then you roll for offense. Again, say it's a 15 for the Cardinals on offense. Be 17, and that would stay under the Cardinals because that's their own offense. And Winnipeg would be 46 under their own offense. And that'd be 17, and Winnipeg would have won. All right, so now here we go. Remember, defense goes to the other team. Offense stays with their own team. All right, so now we're going to roll for defense. The Cardinals roll a 21. Let's see what Winnipeg's going to get here. They roll a 21, and the Cardinals are stout right now. They only give up 6 points on defense. As you can see, a 21 under the defense column is 6 points. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Canadians, 61, 21 points. The Cardinals explode for 21 points as they want to send the Winnipeg Blue Bombers back north. So once again, a 61 under defense. Oh, wait, see, I looked under offense. That was my faux pas. A 61 under defense, is only 6 points. I was going to say, that's kind of high. So it's a 6-6 tie right now. Again, defense, 61 is 6 points. So 6-6. Now we roll for offense. So it's going to come down to this final roll here. Who will advance to the Elite Eight? Offense for the Cardinals, 46. 17 points. 46, 17 points. So the Cardinals put up 17 more points. They have 23 in total. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 26 on offense. 31 points as Winnipeg, the Canadian Football League, is playing that wide open style of football. Again, we're playing NFL rules here, but they're still playing that wide open style even though they're down a man. They agreed to play with 11 in this tournament. 26, let's double check. 31 points. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers at 14-2 will advance with a 38 as the 1 point adjustment, a 38 to 23 victory. Yep, that's right. So Winnipeg advances 38-23, first team to go to the Elite Eight. And let's just move them over and bring it over a bit. So we'll see who they're going to meet, and they'll actually be the home team again. No matter what, they're going to be the home team. Now we move on to the San Francisco 49ers out of the NFL, 7-5. Against the Los Angeles Chargers, 10-4, a clash of West Coast teams. Bragging rights in Cali. San Francisco will be red and white. The Chargers, let's switch that up. The Chargers are going to be baby blue and white. All right. So let's roll for defense. San Francisco, 26 on defense. 26 on defense. That's 10 points they allow, the Chargers. So the Chargers score 10 points. The Chargers roll 45 on defense. And they give up 10 points. So it's a slobber knocker. 10-10. We go to the offensive roll. San Francisco with a pretty potent offense. Actually, not that year, though. Only 281 points scored. Chargers have the advantage here, definitely. So 54 for the 49ers, looking for that old magic that Y.A. Tittle had once. 54. 14 points. So the 49ers put up 2 touchdowns. 24-10. The Chargers 13. They put up 10. And we have our first upset. So the NFL will give kudos to the 49ers. And this is an upset. I mean, I would say this is an upset. Not many NFL fans would think it's an upset, but the 10-4 Chargers go down to the 7-5 San Francisco 49ers, 24-20, as they could only muster 10 points on offense. Let's double check. 13, that's 10. So advancing to face the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will be the San Francisco 49ers. And let's just bring this over here. So San Francisco, don't want to do that. That's not the way we want to do that. My faux pas. I'm going to do copy. Paste. And bring these back here. So the first 2 teams are to the Elite 8 from the NFL. The San Francisco 49ers defeat the American Football League Los Angeles Chargers 24-10. They advance to face Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who defeat out of the Canadian Football League, who defeated the St. Louis Cardinals out of the NFL 38-23. We have our first matchup in the Elite 8. And we'll just set that up before we go to Group B. So I think that's a little bit of a shock there. A little bit of a shock, in my opinion, that the 49ers defeated the Chargers. It'll be San Francisco. Clear that, and clear that. I think Winnipeg has a great chance to go to that Final Four now, as they're in the Elite 8. You can see their offense scored 557 points. Again, Canadian football played much more wide open. They actually have a pretty good chance here. And the 49ers only scored 281. And you're looking at the high for the 49ers is 14 points. Where you have these ridiculous, you have 20, 25, 24. Yeah, so the much more wide open game of the Canadian Football League is going to probably bode well in this tournament. All right, let's move to Group B. Let's move to Group B now. As our good friend Mr. Utah Mike's in the chat, he says, "Hey Al, good to see you playing quick play. I'm hooked also, thinking 69-70 NBA and college quick play season." Oh yeah, it's pretty fun to play these. Again, I'm not going to get away from, but seeing that I wasn't feeling good, my brain, which doesn't function well anyway, started playing some of these. I downloaded every season. A lot of fun. I mean, again, it's just quick numbers. It's fun just to think about it. I do enjoy it, though. I never thought I would like this game, but I do like this one. And I think these are the Mike Seelock games. All right, let's move to Group B. Our first matchup, the New York Titans 7-7, take from the American Football League Conference, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, who won the NFL championship in 1960, 10-2. The Eagles are big favorites, 486 points in total on offense, though the Titans put up 492. But the Eagles' defense, much more stout, only gave up 328 on defense, where the Titans gave up 512. Thus, the 7-7 record. All right, the Titans, and their colors were not green and white back in 1960, and they weren't the Jets yet. So let's switch the colors, as I like to switch the colors for the dice. They're going to be blue. And the Eagles are going to be green. All right, here we go. Roll for defense. Titans, a porous defensive team, to say the least. 33. How many points will the Titans give up to the Eagles? 33 defense. 33 defense. Not pretty. 21 points the Eagles put up on a very porous New York Titan defense. 21 points. The Eagles, 22, only give up 7. So the Eagles looking good as we go into our offensive roll now. Once again, we'll double check. 33 for the Titans. 21 points the Eagles put up on a not-so-bueno Titan defense. And a 22, the Eagles only give up 7 points to the New York Titans out of the American Football League as they want to crush the AFL. And now the roll for offense. Titans need a huge number. 44 on offense, and that's not, they are done. They only put up 6 points, so it is just elementary, my dear Watson, as they would say. They've only scored 13. The Eagles already beat them on their defense, on the defense roll. Now let's roll for out. 53 on offense, and they put up another 17. So the Eagles, the NFL champions, crush the 500 7-7 New York Titans. 38-13, to the joy of all NFL fans, especially those in the city of brotherly love, as the Eagles will now advance. And let's just move them over. Do a copy. And they're definitely going to be the home team, so put it over here for now, paste. Eagles have advanced. We now move towards the NFL Detroit Lions, who were 7-5 in 1960, facing the Edmonton Eskimos, as the Eskimos hunt lion tonight. And they were 10-6. Again, they get a +1 for the Canadian Football League adjustment per the rules. And again, let's look here. This is a matchup here. So the offenses are fairly... The Lions actually 332 points of offense compared to 326 for Edmonton. And, this is a really even matchup. The Lions 252 for defense compared to Edmonds 256. This is a toss-up right here, right now. Who will advance? The Lions or the Edmonton Eskimos in our 1960 North American Football Championship Tournament. And the Lions are going to be... Let's change the colors of the dice because I like doing that. I don't think we have a gray. Do we have a gray die? No, we don't. So we'll stick with blue for the Lions. And Edmonton will be yellow. Roll for defense. This should be a slobber knocker. The Lions, 53. They give up 14 points. Edmonton, tough 14 points, but they get 14 points and plus the 1. I don't know why they get a +1. They're up 15 right now. Now we'll look at Edmonton's defensive roll. Edmonton rolled a 34. Edmonton shuts them out. Holy cow. It's going to be an uphill battle. Uphill battle to say the least, as Edmonton has a 15-0 lead. Again, they get a 1-point adjustment per the rules, the NFL, and it's adjusted on the Canadian Football League team. There's no adjustment done to the NFL teams. I might actually get rid of this rule if it comes into play, as I'm not seeing why we have to do this, but now Detroit needs a huge roll here. And even then, they would need an absolutely horrendous offensive performance by the Edmonton Eskimos. I'm just looking. Their highest is 17 points on the 51 and 54. Anything else, and they are losers. We roll for offense. Edmonton smelling victory and lion stakes. 46 is not going to be enough. Not going to be enough, folks. As that's only 14, again, they get a 1 point for an adjustment, which we're going to play it out. It's not going to matter, really, but 24 for Edmonton. Oh, my Lord, it does matter! Holy poop! Edmonton on the 24. The Lions hold stout, and they're going to lose 15-14 on the 1 point adjustment. So the Lions, always known for tremendous defense in the 60s, even into the early 70s, they lost a playoff game in 1970 to the Dallas Cowboys. I believe it was 5-2. Wow. Well, we're playing with the adjustment rule, but moving forward in the next tournaments we have, I don't know about. Well, it is what it is. Those are the rules. They get a 1 point. You can see. I'll just show you real quick. If you can see the Edmonton, the +6 is if you play different Canadian Football League teams from different eras. They get a +6. So you would add +6 to whatever their total is. Now, the +1 is if they play an NFL team of any era. So they get +1. So, wow, what a disappointment for the Lions. Another Canadian Football League goes through, but Edmonton will have to face the NFL champions. They'll have to face the NFL champions. Philadelphia Eagles. King Icky Boo's in the chat. Hello, King Icky Boo. He keeps me company when I can't sleep at night. And he does a lot of great stuff. Please subscribe to King Icky Boo. Uncle Ron from Retro Sports Network. Check him out also. All the wonderful YouTube content creators. Clinton Parks, Philip Reynolds. Wow, so... And he's a big Canadian Football League fan because he's Canadian, King Icky Boo. And he has this marvelous tournament going on where he plays best of 7 with football teams. But he's using a different quick play game, which I have to ask him a question. I looked at it real quick. It looks cool, but I didn't understand it as quickly as this one. All right, so Edmonton advances. And Edmonton... Wow, that's going to be an interesting game here. So we have Edmonton and Philadelphia advance to the next. Do I have that lined up right? Well, they might not be lined up right, but who cares? They advance to the next 2 teams that go to the Elite 8. And let's just get it prepared for the Elite 8. And this is really these are fun games. And if you want to go into more description, if you know the teams, you can say who had a good game or not. But I was going to write down some stuff, but I'm not feeling well, so I'm just rolling it and just enjoying it. Wow, that 1 point came into play. Oh, crap, I didn't do that right. Undo that. We want to do copy, paste. Copy. Paste. And slide it over. My faux pas. I want to keep the teams. All right, so Edmonton advances to face the NFL champions of 1960, Philadelphia Eagles, in the Elite 8. And let's just get this ready and bring it over. Copy. 1, 2, 3. Paste. Yeah, so King Icky Boo's playing another quick play. As he says, I saw the CFL and had to stop by. King Icky Boo. The best CFL teams were in the 1978 to 82 seasons, the Eskimos. They could have beaten half the NFL teams. Yeah, wasn't Warren Moon the quarterback for the Eskimos? I have all I have all the years too. That's pretty cool for the Canadian Football League. I was going to do the 80s, but I decided to do this one for some reason. And what I did was I took the best 16 teams. If you had a losing record, you didn't qualify. Unless there were a ton of losing records, and there weren't. All right, so let's just set this up quite quickly. So Edmonton, oh shoot, I'm going to have to bring this over here. Because they're going to be the visitors, so let's just do cut and bring that over here. Paste. And let's get rid of that. As we are prepared. So that's a pretty big upset in my opinion. Let's get rid of that. As the 1 point comes into play, again, I don't know why they get a 1 point adjustment, but they get a 1 point adjustment. And let's center that. Okay. And this is Edmonton. Edmonton, EDM. Out of the CFL. So the CFL advances 2 teams. They have 4 teams in the tournament. And they advance. Now, we move on to Group C. And the crowd's still in shock. The Lions going down to the Edmonton Eskimos. We move on to Group C, where we have the Baltimore Colts, who are 6-6 out of the NFL. Not a big year for the Colts, coming off championships in 58 and 59. Did not finish well, obviously, in 1960, 6-6. Taking on the Houston Oilers. I believe they were the AFL champs in 1960, 10-4. So here we go. Then the second 2 teams filling out Group C, the Giants at 6-4-2, and the Argonauts out of the Canadian Football League, 10-4. All right, here we go. And blue and white. That's good for the Colts. Let's change the colors for the Oilers. We go to that. They have sort of a baby bluish color. Let's go with this color dye. We roll for defense. And the Colts, Houston would probably have a slight advantage here. They only gave up 302 points to the Colts, 347. So the Colts, a 61. How much would Houston get off the Colts defense? 61! 13 points. Good job by the AFL. What the fudge? Why did that move way the hell over there? All right. Back over here. There we go. 13 points. So that was a 61 off the Colts defense. Yep, 13 points. Good start for the Houston Oilers. We love you, blue. Now 65. Let's see what Houston does on defense. 65. They give up 14. So a back and forth battle between the 500 6-6 Colts out of the NFL and the 10-4 AFL Houston Oilers. 14-13. It comes down to offense, and the Colts should have, the Oilers should have an advantage here, 471 to 389. The roll for O. 63 for the Colts. Can Johnny Unitas do it? 10 points on offense for the Colts. As again, that is a 63. We go to the offense portion of the Colts card. 63. They put up a touchdown and a field goal. Houston, 53. Only put up 9 points. And the NFL, Baltimore Colts will advance by 2 points by the hair of their chinny chin chin, trying to make up for a not so auspicious season after winning championships in the 1958 and 59. They went 6-6. They want to win this tournament. They slide past. It was a slippery slide, but they did it. They slide past the Houston Oilers 24-22. And they shall advance. So the Colts in an upset. Again, NFL fans don't think it's an upset, but I do. The Colts in an upset. I want to line this up just right. Okay, what are we in? Column. It doesn't matter. We'll say over here. The Colts in an upset. Advanced 24-22. And they'll definitely be the visiting team. Well, not, yes, because Giants are 6-4-2, and the Argonauts are 10-4. So now the Canadian Football Leaguers, can they push another one through to the Elite Eight? Very exciting stuff going here. The Giants, 6-4-2 out of the NFL, scored 373 points while giving up 359. The Argonauts, the Toronto Argonauts out of the Canadian Football League, gave up 346, slight edge to the Argonauts, and scored 467. So the Giants have to come up stout on defense, in my opinion, as we have Battle of the Blues. They're both blue. Giants, let's see what other blue color we have here. We're going to make them both the same color. What the hell? Giants are the top roll. The Argonauts are the bottom roll. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'll switch it. I know what I'm going to do. We'll make this white, and we'll make this one blue, and now we'll save it. All right. I'll still end up getting confused. So the top is the Giants. The bottom are the Toronto Argonauts. We rolled for defense. The Giants rolled at 54. 54 on defense, and they did what they had to do. They only give up 3 points to the Canadian Football Leaguer Toronto Argonauts. The Argonauts, 21 on defense. 21. Again, let me make sure on the 54. Because I'm doubting myself. Nope, 3 points. 3 points, 54 defense for the Giants, so that's good. So a 21 on defense for the Toronto Argonauts. And the Giants kick 3 field goals. So it's 9-4. Again, that 1 point, will it come into play like it did in the Edmonton game? Now the Giants on offense. They have a 5-point lead. Will it be enough? Toronto, a much more stellar offensive team. We roll for the O. Giants 35 on offense. They get 12. 12. They have 21 total points. Excuse me. And now the Toronto Argonauts needing a big offensive effort here. 35, 35, 35, 18, and they will do it by 1 point again. Oh, my Lord, that 1 point adjustment pushes Toronto past the New York Giants 22-21. Yeah, I think in tournaments coming forward, we're going to get rid of that. I don't know why they get 1 point. Because, in my eyes, without knowing anything to compare, let's just think about 1960s football here, folks. Let's just think 1960s football here. NFL was a very conservative game. They could put up points, don't get me wrong. And Canadian Football League's always wide open. So, if you're just looking at pure numbers, I would always assume, without looking at any, now I'm looking at stuff, that the Canadian Football League teams would score more. And the rules did read that the adjustment of 1 point is only to the Canadian Football League team. It's a +1. It's not a -1. So you're not +1ing the NFL teams. So again, by the hair of their chinny chin chin and the chagrin of the Giants fan in a slobber knocker here in Toronto, the Argonauts advance 22-21. And they will host the Baltimore Colts and Johnny Unitas. They advance to the Elite Eight. As we have one more group to go. And let's use this one here. Copy. Paste. And wow, another close one. So the Canadian Football League is showing their merits. Though a bit controversial with that 1 point, but those are the rules, folks. And let's switch this to Baltimore out of the NFL. So Johnny Unitas, 1 win away from the Final Four. And now we move to Group D. And who shall advance out of Group D? The Dallas Texans out of the American Football League Conference, 8-6, taking on the NFL runners-up in 1960 Green Bay Packers, who were 8-4, and they lost to Philadelphia in the NFL championship game. Dallas, 283 on offense compared to the Packers, 325 advantage Packers. Defense, advantage Dallas Texans, 283 to 325. On offense, slight edge goes to the Packers, 464 to 422. Obviously, no Canadian Football League adjustment. There's no CFL team. All right, so the Texans will be red and white with the dice. The Packers will be yellow and white. Here we go. We roll for defense. You know Vince Lombardi doesn't want to lose to an AFL team. Here's the roll for D. And that didn't change. All right, it's an 11. We'll change it. So they give up 10 points. The Packers muster 10 points. I hate when that happens. Let's go back here. As I did not click over. And I can't change the colors yet because it'll change the numbers. So 11 for the Texans. They are the double white die. Packers get 10 points. A touchdown and a field goal. Paul Hornung touchdown plunge. And a Paul Hornung field goal makes it 10-0. The Packers defense, they roll a 15. And the Texans put up 14 points. So the Texans have a 4-point lead, 14-10. And Vince Lombardi not too happy at all. Vince Lombardi is not a happy camper. We roll for the O. But before we do that, let's change this color to red. There we go. Save the options. Red and white, the Texans. Yellow and white, the Packers. It comes down to this offensive roll. Packers trail by 4. 16, quite ironic, the number of Lenny Dawson. 16 on offense. And the Texans put up 17 points. They have a big offensive effort. 31 points in total. The Packers are going to have to roll a 21, and that's a 32 or a 15, folks. Lombardi and the Packers could be going out. They need a 15 or a 32, a 65, and a 44-42. So they do have some here. And they get a 36, as I should just looked. And that's not enough. That's 14 points. 36 is 14 points. And the Texans upset Lombardi's Green Bay Packers 31-24. And Vince Lombardi is none too happy about that. So a 7-point victory for the Texans. And they will advance to the Elite Eight. Let's just bring that over here. So the Texans are in. The Packers are not. The last ticket to be punched to the Elite Eight will come from the Cleveland Browns of the NFL, 8-3-1, and the Ottawa Rough Riders, who are 9-5 out of the Canadian Football League. And twice the 1-point adjustment has come into play to advance the CFL teams. Cleveland and Jim Brown will not let that go down. So, let's adjust the colors. I don't know if we have orange. We don't have orange. I don't want to go yellow. We will go double white for Cleveland. Oops. We'll go double white for Cleveland. And black and white for the Ottawa Rough Riders. So here we go. Cleveland gave up 311 points on defense. The Ottawa Rough Riders 397. But they scored 492. But Cleveland scored 536. A slight edge to the Browns. We roll for defense. Oh, Cleveland's a 45. They give up 13 points. The Rough Riders off the Cleveland defense put up 13 points. 45 is a 13. Now, the Rough Riders rolled 45. Cleveland puts up 19 points. So Jim Brown scores 2 touchdowns. And a safety and an extra point built in there somehow. 19-13. Now we roll for the O. 5-point lead for Cleveland. The winner, the last team to advance to the Elite Eight. The roll for the offense. Cleveland, 45 on offense. They need a big day from Jimmy Brown. 45, 21 points. Jim Brown goes in 3 more times. And that is 40 against the Rough Riders, 34. They need a I can't say that word. A huge effort. Herculean, that's the word I was trying to say. 34, but the Browns defense stymies them. Only for 7. And advancing 40-21 are the Browns. They will take on the Texans. And at 8-6, I think that at 8-6, they're 8-3-1. The Browns will get the home field there. 40-21, the Ottawa Rough Riders, the first Canadian Football League to bow out of our tournament. Copy. Paste. Slide. So we have our Elite 8 set. We'll go over it quite quickly and move on as we'll set up the little scoreboard. Cleveland advances. So that's going to be Cleveland with the home field there. Out of the NFL. Tense moments. The NFL very happy with that victory by the Browns. Obviously, get rid of that. Clear the board. And we have Dallas. Dallas. The Dallas Texans, not the Dallas Cowboys. Out of the AFL. Save. All right, so now, bring that down here. Let's go up. Got everything here. Let's move this over slightly. Now, that one's going to stay the way. All right, so we have in the Elite 8, San Francisco taking on the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That's an CFL matchup. Then, and is now going to reconnect because OBS, you suck. And we've reconnected. As Dave Gardner chats chanting USA, USA. We also have big hits in the chat. Yeah, Andrew Luck retired. Well, he was in pain. So you have Edmonton and the Eagles taking on the NFL champion Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles advanced the Eagles advanced 38-13 over the Titans. Edmonton got by the hair of their chinny chin chin 15-14. Then you have Johnny Unitas hoping for a tournament of redemption. Colts only went 6-6, but they defeated Houston 24-22. The Argonauts, in a close one, defeated the Giants 22-21. And in our last Elite 8 matchup, the Dallas Texans take on the Cleveland Browns. Dallas 31-24 over the Packers and Vince Lombardi. So Lombardi loses the NFL championship game and goes out in round 1 of the 1960 North American Football League Championship Tournament. He'll have a lot to say to his team about that. And then you had the Browns crushing the Ottawa Rough Riders. Rough Riders, the first Canadian Football League team to bow out of the tournament, as they would lose to Jim Brown and the Cleveland Browns 40-21. All right, back to the top of the screen. And here we go. So San Francisco, again, their defense gave up 257. Winnipeg's defense gave up 234. Offense for San Francisco only 281. Winnipeg, 557 in offense. They were the dark horse. They're the dark horse candidates to win it. Just on those offensive numbers alone. Let's change the colors as I like to do. So San Francisco will be red and white. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers will be sort of yellow and white. Here we go. Defensive roles for both San Francisco and Winnipeg. 65 for the San Francisco 49ers. And they shut down the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. No points for the Blue Bombers as the bomb was defused. Now we go to Winnipeg's defensive role. 61. And they give up 2 field goals. So it's 6-3 as we go into the offensive roles now. So San Francisco is looking for big roles here. Again, the biggest points they get on their card, I'm looking real quick. And the font, some of the font sizes are different. So I like the Canadian Football League cards. They're a little bigger. 14 points, and they're going to need those 14 points because Winnipeg has some crazy numbers on offense. We roll for the offense. 16 for San Francisco. Will it be enough? It's only 7 points. Ouch. And now Winnipeg has a 33. 9 points. Oh, my Lord. In a shocker, the San Francisco 49ers win on a big defensive effort, 13-10. Wow, let's do a double check. The offense of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers absolutely stymied by the 49ers pass rush. 33 again. We're just double checking. It is only 9 points. 16 for San Francisco, 7 points. But it's 13-10. And in shocking fashion, the city with the bridge has moved to the Final Four. And Winnipeg fans here are in disbelief. The Winnipeg fans are in disbelief. Oh my God. Winnipeg thought they were going to the Final Four. They had t-shirts printed up and everything. King Icky Boo. King Icky Boo. Cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. I'm sure we're going to hear from his top secret bunker in the near future about this, what will be considered a dark day in Canadian League football, when the San Francisco 49ers came into town and shut down the potent Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense. San Francisco advances 13-10. Now, let's just move them over with a copy-paste. Yeah, let's put them up here. And they will definitely be the visiting team because Edmonton and Philadelphia, the Edmonton Eskimos and Philadelphia Eagles, both have better records. But San Francisco doesn't care. They are the Road Warriors, as they have 2 upset victories, one over the Los Angeles Chargers of the AFL, and now they have bludgeoned defensively the Winnipeg Blue Bombers out of the Canadian Football League. It's quite a shock to me. As King Icky Boo says, he's an Eskimos fan. Yes, I know. But it's a dark day in Canadian League football. All right, let's move on to who will they next face out of Group B. And this is the game that King Icky Boo's been waiting for. He has been waiting for this, folks. This is it. The Edmonton Eskimos going to the city of brotherly love, Edmonton, who defeated the Detroit Lions by the slimmest of margins, 15-14, while Philadelphia cruised in here by bludgeoning the New York Titans 38-13. Norm Van Brocklin guarantees a victory. A victory, folks! As King Icky Boo says, good riddance to the Blue Bombers. I hate them. This is very good. All right. So Edmonton, on defense, gave up 256. The Eagles gave up 328. Advantage, Edmonton. They're going to have to get a good roll here, because on offense, only 326 for the Edmonton Eskimos. Why? Norm Van Brocklin and the Eagles offense, 486. So let's change the colors. Edmonton will be in the yellow and white on the top, while the Eagles will be in the green and white on the bottom of the dice roll. We are using Ballstat Roller. All right, here we go. We roll for defense. Edmonton, 61 on defense. They need a huge effort, and they get it. Only 7 points can be mustered by the Norm Van Brocklin-led Philadelphia Eagles. And now, let's look at the 36. The Eagles, what will that defense give up to the Edmonton Eskimos? 36. 14 points the Eskimos put up, to the joy of King Ikeboo. 14-7. Edmonton looking to advance to the Final Four. And what a matchup it would be. It would be in Edmonton. It would be in Edmonton, and they would take on the 49ers, who have 2 upset victories. Now the roll for the O. Who shall advance to the Final Four? Eagles fans are quite tense. They're tensing up. They're prepared to bludgeon Santa Claus to death. We roll for the offense now. Now the Eagles, their best offensive number is 21, and they have that on the 12, the 23, the 41, and the 43, and the 54. They have a few 17s out there too. Edmonton, you got to get a 19 or a 21 or an 18 or a 16. They got a 23 on here too on a 35. So they got some good numbers there also. But Philadelphia definitely the more potent offense. We roll for the offense and to see who advances to the Final Four and will face the San Francisco 49ers. Edmonton, a 22, 14 points. 14 points. 29 because they have the 1 point Canadian League adjustment. Why did that? Oh, shoot. I got to do that. I forgot to do that. There we go. 29. And now, 65. Can Norm Van Brocklin do it? 65. No, he cannot. As the Edmonton Eskimos, to the joy of King Ikeboo, a 65 is only 10 points of offense. And Edmonton comes into the city of blubberly, speak of the English out, brotherly love. That's what a fever does to you. And bludgeons the NFL champions. And oh my Lord, NFL ownership is none too happy. 29-17. The Edmonton Eskimos are getting a home Final Four playoff game tournament-wise against the upset-minded San Francisco 49ers. Will the 49ers, will the clock strike 12 for Cinderella? We shall see. So let's get Edmonton as they will host the 49ers in an A versus B Final Four matchup. I am really enjoying these quick play games. All right, so let's just put it up here. There we go. And let's use this one here because it has the CFL right there. All set. We'll just switch the names. So that's our first Final Four matchup. Out of Group A, the San Francisco 49ers. Out of Group B, the Edmonton Eskimos. Yeah, let's do a copy. Paste here, right here. And we'll just, San Francisco, actually, you don't have to change the name, so that works out beautifully. Delete that. And we just got to change. And to the delight of King Ikeboo, we changed Winnipeg to Edmonton. So Edmonton, 1 win away from a championship game. The Edmonton Eskimos. And remember, they have that 1 point. And think, the Lions fans are sitting there going, hey, it could have been us. Let's go back and remember, 15. I'll go down a little farther. 15-14. The Lions could have been here. The Lions could have been the ones defeating the Eagles. But they're not. Okay. So now, Edmonton. Yeah, let's get rid of this. They have their 1 point adjustment. So, let's go down to our next matchups here in the Elite Eight to see who advances to the Final Four. And it's the Argonauts against the Johnny Unitas-led Baltimore Colts. And NFL fans are holding their breath. Can Johnny U pull it out? Can Johnny U pull it out? I missed a question in the chat. What, Mike from Sports Time Machine, Mr. Al, have you noticed that? Have I noticed what? Yeah, they have those teams. They have all those teams. I downloaded every team, but this is 1960, so those teams are not included. King Ikeboo says, I went to a playoff game in 1986, in Winnipeg. Edmonton versus Winnipeg, 30 below. Holy cow. And I got doused in beer by Bombers fans for cheering for the Eskimos. Oh, they're like Philadelphia Phillies fans then. Or, we have some nasty teams in the U.S. too. You shouldn't do that to ongoing. I've been to Yankee Red Sox games and never had anything happen. I mean, it's good-natured back and forth in Fenway. Though I did see an old woman throw keys at a Yankee fan. That was pretty funny. Why you would throw your car keys at a Yankee fan when you have to go retrieve them, I don't know. All right, so Baltimore and Toronto up next. Baltimore will be blue and white. Actually, Baltimore will be white and white. They'll be the top dice. And Toronto will be blue and white, the bottom dice. All right, so here we go. Defense, basically even. 347 the Colts gave up. And the Argonauts gave up 346. Offense, again, goes to the Canadian Football League team. The Toronto Argonauts, 467 to Johnny Unitas and the Colts, 389. Here we go. We roll for defense. Colts need a big effort here. 65 off the Colts defense. 65, 10 points. The Toronto Argonauts put up 10. They roll 24, and they only give up 6. So the Argonauts, halfway there to punching their ticket to the Final Four, as it's 10-6, but with the 1 point, it's 11-6. Again, that's the rules. Canadian Football Leagues get a +1 teams when you're playing against the NFL teams. So can Johnny U, down by 5, do it one more time? Colts, big roll. How do they have on here? 17 points. And they have that on the 36, 16, 41. Let's move this over a little bit. They also have it on the 61. So that I think they need that 17 points. The Argonauts, 24 on a 24. They have a couple of 18s. So again, they have the higher numbers here. We roll for the O. Who advances to the Final Four? Will it be the Colts and Johnny Unitas, or will it be the team from up north, the Toronto Argonauts and the CFL? 51 for Johnny U, and that's not going to get it done, folks. That's only 7 points. They can only muster on the 51 one touchdown. And Toronto Argonauts fans are smelling it. Can you smell what the Argonauts are cooking? 13 is 14, and the Argonauts will advance 25-13. A 12-point victory over Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts. So Johnny U goes out, and it's looking more and more like it's going to be San Francisco trying to uphold the honor, of the NFL. Uzi Patrol is here. How you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. So the Argonauts advance, and they are 10-4, and they will have the home game in Toronto. Some of these do have a home and away thing too, but not these. Basketball does it. I was looking at those games. Let's put that here. Move it over a bit. Let's put that right about here. The last... Oh, shoot, I did that wrong. God, Al. Got to do copy, paste. Copy. Paste. All right, slide that about here. There we go. Beautiful. The final ticket to be punched to the Final Four. The Dallas Texans out of the AFL taking on the Cleveland Browns. Jim Brown had a I can't say that word, Herculean effort as the Browns defeated the Ottawa Rough Riders 40-21. A huge day for Jimmy Brown. While the Dallas Texans shocked the NFL world and the football world by defeating the Vince Lombardi Packers. Remember, the Packers lost, though they were coming, their first 2 winning seasons in 59 and 60. They lost in the NFL championship to the Eagles, and now we're upset by the Texans. Lombardi will be screaming at his team all through the offseason. So here we go. The Browns defense gave up 311, while the Texans only gave up 283. But the Browns offense, that's where they're going to have to get a huge number. 536 against the Texans, 422. Texans will be red and white on the top for the dice. Cleveland will be, again, there's no orange. That sucks. They'll be white and white. We roll for defense and see who's halfway there to the Final Four. 56 for the Texans. They only give up 9 points. Oh, God, I got to remember to click on the thing, Al. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. 66, so 3 field goals by the Browns, which is a shocker for kickers in 1960. So a 56, double check, on the Texans defense. 50, 9 points for Cleveland. Cleveland rolled 26 on their defense. And 10 points for the Texans. We go to the offensive roll. The Texans 10-9. And the advantage, the Browns have to be feeling good about themselves. Advantage here, Browns. Remember, 536 points they scored compared to 422 for the Texans. We roll for the O and the last spot in the Final Four. Texans with a 16. A huge effort by the Texans. 17 points off their offensive card. Now it comes down to the Browns and a 46. A bigger effort by Jim Brown. 23 points put up by the Cleveland Browns. And they advance 32-27 by 5 points. So a comeback victory for the Browns. And Jim Brown plunges in with the Nestea plunge and the winning touchdown. Jimmy Brown, number 32. The GOAT. Unbelievable. Let's do a double check. 16 for the Texans, because Al has dyslexia. 16. 17 points. I thought it was going to be enough. So did the Texans fans of the AFL. And that gave them 27. But then we looked at that 46 number for the Cleveland Browns and Jim Brown. And Brown came up huge in the fourth quarter. 46. 23 points. The Browns advance 32-27. Let's do this the proper way. Copy. And they will be they'll go to Toronto. As Toronto's 10-4, so let's do paste. I think we got to do that about here. Paste. And, we did it perfect. A little too much. Let's bring that back a bit. Bring that back just a bit. Just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, and let's get that set. So the Final Four matchups are set. It's just a lot of fun just to think about this. I know it's only giving you a point total, but it is fun. I can't believe I'm having this much fun. Again, could be because I don't feel well, but I'm having fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here, paste. And so, the Browns, this should be one heck of a matchup here. And the Browns, you know what? Even though they're going to Toronto, they look to be the slight favorites in this prognosticator's opinion. So, it's going to be Cleveland. So, we have 2 NFL teams. Oops. We have 2 NFL teams, Cleveland and San Francisco. San Francisco, the Cinderella of the tournament. Let's move that over a bit. They have 2 upset victories. Will the clock finally strike 12, as they say, on the 49ers and their Cinderella dreams? Again, Toronto will have that 1-point adjustment. Will it come into play? So let's give you the final 4 matchups. You have the Cleveland Browns against the Toronto Argonauts in Toronto. And that 1-point adjustment for the CFL teams. And then we go way up here. And again, in Canada, it should be a national holiday. 2 Canadian Football League teams have made it to the Final 4. And Edmonton's feeling good about themselves. King Ichaboo must be feeling good about themselves. As King Ichaboo says, the AFL is dead! Long live the CFL! He didn't say that, I just said that. Sports Time Machine, our good friend Mr. Utah Mike. Browns will have to go through an entire CFL to win the championship. You are correct. Bubba Husky, go football! Yes. And I love these cards and how he put the emblems and all that stuff on them. It's just so much fun. On that replay site, there is a CFL game for Windows. I have not downloaded that because I don't know exactly what that is. King Ichaboo, have you seen that Canadian Football League game for Windows on the replay site? If you have, what are your thoughts on it? All right, so San Francisco, our first semifinal, Final 4 matchup. Again, San Francisco living the charmed life, 2 upset victories. They shocked the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to the joy of King Ichaboo, a huge Edmonton Eskimos fan, 13-10 to advance to the Final 4. And before that, a 4-point victory over the American Football League Los Angeles Chargers. But now it is on to the Final 4, the first semifinal matchup in our North American Football League 1960 Tournament Championship. The 49ers, the defense has played quite stout. They gave up 257. Eskimos did 1 point better, though, 256. Again, the Eskimos will have an advantage on offense, 326 to the 7-5 49ers, 281. The 49ers are red and white, the top die. The Edmonton Eskimos, they're traditional yellow and white. Tense moments for Eskimos fans, especially King Ichaboo. We roll for defense. A 61 for San Francisco. What did they give up? Nothing! Wow! San Francisco holds Edmonton. God, fudge knocker, Al. Will you click the thing before you start playing? Nothing! As I don't have the on the cell there. So let's double 61. No points. Edmonton cannot muster any points against the San Francisco defense. And that's what was the downfall for the Blue Bombers. So will the Eskimos fall into the same trap? Now Edmonton rolled a 63 on defense. 63. 4 points. I don't know how. 2 safeties. That's the only thing we gave. They gave up 4 points. So 2 safeties. This is a defensive slobber knocker and a cold day in Edmonton. So it's 2-0. We got an old school baseball score going here. Or a hockey game broke out between the Seals and the Oilers. So it's 2-0 as the Eskimos. Actually, it's a safety. It has to be a safety. So it's 2-0. All right, let's double check on that. 61. 0 points for the Eskimos off the San Francisco defense. 63. Let's look at this again. 63. No, 4 points. I was right. 4 points. 63. Yeah, because I by accident looked at 33. Yep, 63, 4 points. So 4 points, 2 safeties. I was correct the first time. 4-0. 4-1 because they have that adjustment. Now we roll for the offense. But the Eskimos have to be feeling good about themselves. They have to be feeling good. They're down 3. Who will go to the championship game for our 1960 North American Championship Tournament. The roll. Who shall advance? Tense moments. 25! The 49ers can only muster one touchdown. 63 for Edmonton. Will there be joy in the land and kingdom of King Ichabod? 63. 63. King Ichabod. 63. There will be no joy in Mudville! Edmonton can only muster 3 points. And again, we have a bizarre score of 11-4. Another defensive slobber knocker. And San Francisco is quite the treat. They go into Edmonton, defeat the Eskimos 11-4. There is snot and blood and sweat all over this field. Hard hits galore. And the San Francisco 49ers charm life continues. They advance to the championship. And if you had the 49ers, boy, in Vegas, you're looking pretty good now. 11-4. Let's double check. 25, 7 points for San Francisco. 63 for King Ichabod's beloved Edmonton Eskimos. 63 is only 3 points. Edmonton falls to defeat. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Edmonton falls to defeat King Ichabod, and King Ichabod land declare a national day of mourning for the Eskimos' defeat. The 49ers, the beat goes on. Boom, 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 boom. The beat goes on. Wow, the charmed life of the San Francisco 49ers. Who will they next face? As let's just get this ready. Who will they next face? The 49ers. And they'll have to do it on the road. They are the road warriors. So the 49ers advance. Who will be their opponent? Will it be the Browns or will it be the Toronto Argonauts? The Browns gave up 311 points on defense. The Argonauts, slightly more, 346. The Browns on offense with the GOAT, Jim Brown, 536 points of offense. To the Argos, 467. Jim Brown. Will it be the 49ers? Will it be the Browns? Or will it be Toronto and the pride of Canada, the Argonauts? They're the last Canadian Football League hope. Or will it be an all NFL affair? As King Ichabod says, I have seen the Eskimos lose many times. Here we go. Here we go. Who shall advance to face the Cinderella San Francisco 49ers? The Browns again will be their traditional white and white dice because there's no orange die, which I don't know how to change the colors from the basic colors. I've tried everything I thought there was, but there is not. If someone knows how to do it, please tell me. But they'll be the white and white on top. They'll face the blue and white of the Toronto Argonauts. Blue and white. We roll for defense and see who's halfway there. Again, the Argonauts get that 1 point Canadian Football League adjustment. It has come in handy in 2 games for the Canadian Football League teams when they came away with 1 point victories. But those are the rules, folks. We roll defense. The Browns rolled 26. How much do the Argonauts get off the Browns defense? 26. 10 points. 10 points. Cleveland puts up a good effort. They only give up 10 points. Let's see what the Argonauts do now. 55 off the 12 points. Oh boy, and now the Browns are feeling it. They're up by 2 and they now get to roll on offense. They now get to roll on offense. Amish Elvis is in the chat. Good friend. How you doing, my friend? He says, not only is Alan an award-winning broadcaster, well, I appreciate that. Many people don't like my channel, so I'm glad you like it. But he also sings between games. I am stunned by his talent and grateful we get all of this free. for free. Well, thank you very much. Kind words, my friend. Here we go. You got to like Jim Brown now and the Browns. The offensive role. Can the Orgos pull off what, in my opinion, would be an upset right now? Jim Brown and the Browns offense, 24. Oh, my Lord! The Argonauts are able to stymie him. Brown can only go in for one score, 20. Let's make sure we're looking at this right. 24 under the offense, only 7 points. 19 for the Browns. The Argonauts roll to 52. Will Canada... Oh, Canada, my home and faithful land. God save something. I don't know it. I'm sorry. But the Toronto Argonauts advance with 19 points on offense. 52 equals 19. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. 'Cause it's alright. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Toronto won tonight. Do-do-do-do-do. And it's alright. Toronto's going to the championship. So the Argonauts win 30-19. They shocked Jim Brown and the Cleveland Browns. Argonauts coaching staff said they saw something. We see something, and they're able to stymie the Browns and Jim Brown and hold them only to 19 points. An 11-point victory for the Argonauts. So, it will come down to basically a 500 team. 2 games over 500, 7-5 in the regular season. San Francisco 49ers taking on the Toronto Argonauts. NFL, CFL, for the championship of our Quick Play Football Clash of Leagues 1960 North American Football Championship Tournament. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? So the Argonauts will get another home game in Toronto. The stadium is sold out. A hush comes over the crowd as Al sets up the game. This is the final game in our tournament. Final game. Using quick play. I want to say this is a Mike Seelock game. As King Icky Boo says, I don't like them either. He does not like Toronto. Sports Time Machine, our good friend Mr. Utah Mike. World Bowl 1. Argos versus San Francisco. Neutral field. No! It's in Toronto. That's the way the tournament is played. You get a home game. It's my tournament. And it's not the World Bowl. It's the North American Football Championship Tournament. Much more prestigious than a World Bowl. All right, so here we go. Let's do this here. Set up the scoreboard. Tense moments as teams begin to warm up. All right, let's set up the scoreboard at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slide that over here. Paste. This is it, the final game. And again, quick play. This is a lot of fun. This can supplement your gameplay. And if you have not seen Mr. Utah Mike, please check out his channel, King Icky Boo's channel, Philip Reynolds' channel, Dave Gardner's channel, Clinton Parks' channel, Bobby Cantillano, hello Uzi Patrol, hello Amish Elvis, so on and so forth. If I missed you, I apologize. Ken Castro, how you doing, my friend? As many luminaries here for the championship game. All right, here we go. Viper Dave! Hello. All right, we have to change. The NFL's fine. That's San Francisco. So they're good on that side. We got to change Edmonton. And you know King Icky Boo doesn't want me to change Edmonton, but we have to, King Icky Boo, to Toronto. So it comes down to the San Francisco 49ers, who have been leading the charmed life. Will the clock strike 12 on Cinderella? Will the Toronto Argonauts be the wicked stepsisters and stepmother? Will that 1-point adjustment give the Argonauts the championship that they've been wanting? Will King Icky Boo be sick to his stomach if the Orgos win? These are all questions that will be answered shortly. How did we get here, you say? Well, we'll tell you. San Francisco. Let's go down there. San Francisco started off the tournament, if you just joined us. They shocked the Chargers 24-20. They would take on the heavily favored Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Their defense shut down the most potent offense in the tournament, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, as they win 13-10. Upon this victory, the 49ers declare themselves the Road Warriors. They would then move to Edmonton to face the beloved Edmonton Eskimos of King Ikibu. Their defense would put a stranglehold like a boa constrictor on Edmonton's offense. They would defeat the Eskimos in one of the hardest hitting slobber knocker games you could ever witness in mankind. Blood, snot, tears, sweat all over the field. 11-4. How you get to 11-4? Well, we can figure it out mathematically. It was a hard hitting game. Much blood was spilled on the battlefield in Edmonton. San Francisco advances 11-4 to the championship game to face the Toronto Argonauts. How did the Argonauts get here, you say, if you just joined us? Well, I shall tell you. Toronto, representing the CFL. Toronto, in quite stunning fashion, defeated the Giants, who traveled north to face them in Toronto 22-21 to the chagrin of the Giants owners. 22-21. The 1-point adjustment came into play for the second time as Edmonton got through the same way. But those are the rules, folks. Those are the rules. And so then Toronto, again, gets a home game, but this time against the legendary Johnny Unitas and the Colts. The Colts had a down year. After winning championships in 58 and 59, they finished 500 at 6-6. And Johnny U needed this, he said. We need this in the worst way, and they did not get it. The Argonauts put a good slapping on the Colts by 12, 25-13. As Johnny U did not have magic that day. They moved to the second semifinal, where they would face Jim Brown and the Cleveland Browns. Browns, heavy betting favorites, even though the Argos were the home team. But the Toronto Argonauts were not to be undone by the GOAT, Jim Brown, and the Cleveland Browns. They would crush Cleveland 30-19, once again dashing the hopes of Cleveland fans everywhere. As the chant was, who the hell are these guys? Are they the Indians now? And that's how Toronto now gets a home championship game against Cinderella, the San Francisco 49ers. We prepare. The coin toss, the luminaries, it's all done. The bands, everything. It comes down to this, the changing of the colors of the dice, and then the roll. Tense moments. All right, San Francisco will be red and white. The Toronto Argonauts, blue and white. White, say it, white. Excellent, good job, Al. So red versus blue next. Option saved. San Francisco's defense has brought them this far. Will it bring them home to the promised land? 257 they gave up on defense. The Argonauts, a lot more, 346. This is where San Francisco has to be stout. On offense, 281 to Toronto's 467. If it's close, Toronto likes their chances. I have Toronto at home. I'm looking at these numbers. I'm going to make them a 5-point favorite. Toronto is a 5-point favorite. Glenn Perot is here. Now we can begin. I make Toronto a 5-point favorite. So we roll for defense. 45 for San Francisco. On defense, 45. They shut down the Argonauts as they tell Al Red Sox fan, go poop yourself. We are the San Francisco 49ers. Hear us roar. No points for the Argonauts. The Argonauts defense, can they keep it close? 52. How much did the 49ers score? 52. Good gosh almighty. The San Francisco offense off the Toronto Argonauts defense on a 54. Let's make sure. Oh my God. 52, excuse me, 52, I'm looking this way. 52, 18 points. San Francisco fans can be heard on the West Coast in the city by the bay singing, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. The Argonauts will need a biblical effort on offense as they're down 18-1 because they get 1 point for their Canadian Football League adjustment. Per the rules, San Francisco, if they can only score at the most 14 points, but they got 18 points off a porous Toronto Argonauts defense. And that could rule the day and the championship for the 49ers. We roll for the O, and who will be champions of our Quick Play Football Clash of Leagues 1960 North American Football League Championship Tournament. Here we go, folks. Here we go. A 14. Oh, boy. A 14 for the 49ers. They can only muster 2 more field goals. They have 24 points. The Orgos need 24 to win, 25-21. They rolled a 23. Will this be the greatest comeback victory? Let's go. Oh, so close. Had they rolled a 24, they would be speaking of this day for years to come. It would go down in history as the greatest biblical comeback since David defeated Goliath. Unfortunately, they rolled a 23. And that's only 8 points! And shockingly, the San Francisco 49ers are a San Francisco treat. They win the tournament. No one thought this team could win the tournament. Probably the worst team in the Giants were... this is a shocker. The 49ers take the trophy for our Quick Play Football Clash of Leagues 1960 North American Football League Championship 24-9. And they did it on the road as the chants from the 49ers fans who have traveled to Toronto. Road Warriors, as you can hear it throughout the stadium. And there you have it, folks. Your champions, once again, of Clash of Leagues 1960 North American Football League Championship Tournament. The San Francisco 49ers, they win 24-9. How close did Toronto come for a huge comeback victory? Had we rolled a 24 on offense, it would have been 24 points. And they would have won 25-24, and the 1 point adjustment would have come into play. But we didn't roll a 24. We rolled a 23. And that's how it goes, folks. So this is a lot of fun. Quick play football. Quick play football. As King Icky Boo says, thanks. Philip Reynolds says, replay using the Bengals. No Bengals in 1960. I'm going to be doing a few more of these. These are fun. I like them. They're quick. They're fun. It's fun. Again, how accurate is this? I did the Patriot replay. I put it in Discord. I think it's, when you do a season, it's fairly accurate. Patriots went 7-7 in reality, and in my game they went 9-4. Is that right? 9-4? 9-5, excuse me. 9-5. Which, if you look at their record that year in the games played, they lost a lot of close games. They won a few more close ones, then lost them. Amish Elvis says, I bet after the fans leave that Al even picks up the trash. Yes, I do. I do everything. Max Cornelius says, good stuff. Thanks, Al. Well, thank you all. It was a lot of fun. 10:48, I'm going to hit the hay. So that's a lot of fun. San Francisco wins the tournament 24-9. You can find these on that replay site. As Ken says, I like quickies too. Quickies can be fun. Boom, boom. I added that part. You can find that on the replay site. Field of Dreams replay or replay Fields of Dreams. I did a video on it. Go back. I have the link for it. And if you go to downloads and click on wrestling, And because that's a card and dice, and you'll see this. I want to say it's Mike Seelock, I believe, and also Mike Owens. But you have to go on a forum to get the link for that because it's not on there anymore. And but a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Thank you very much. Health and happiness. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Once again, 49ers go through the tournament. Cinderella. The clock never strikes 12. The glass slipper fit. 49ers win the championship. 1960-style tournament, North American. Between the NFL, AFL, and CFL. 24-9 over the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. So San Francisco, to the shock of NFL fans, does it. And there will be a parade in the city by the bay. 49ers 24, Argonauts 9. Peace!